Okay, you guys can get to pick an interview subject. My sister, who has a psychology degree, will be coming down in a few months' time. And I was thinking, now, what am I going to interview her about? And I was thinking, maybe you could interview her about the sheeple mentality or about people in denial of their real situation, or denial in general, and, stress and how people handle stress in a without rule of law, WROL, or collapse situation, or something along those lines, anything sort of psychology related. So I thought, what am I going to ask? And I thought, no, I'll just ask you guys, and basically, what do you think I should interview her? Whack it in the comments. I'll have a look at the comments in a while, and then pick the most prominent looking one that she could realistically answer, and we'll interview her on that one. Furthermore, you may sort of say, what are you so worried about going into aged care for and all that? Why are you can't you just do what else you've got a qualification on? Aren't there, isn't there something else you can do out there? Well, surprise, surprise, I always hear that there's no jobs in the US. Then to have somebody else tell me, no, there's never a case of there's no jobs in the US. There are always jobs, but they're just $8 an hour, $7 an hour, $10 an hour, and they're all there, but just they're crap jobs. Now, in Australia, when there's no jobs, that's exactly what it means. There's nothing, except stupid jobs like commission sales, where you spend more on fuel getting to work than you actually make. Other stupid things that are sort of like, there's walkers who go and put pamphlets in letterboxes, and you get $10 for 1,000 pamphlets, and by the time you nut it all out, you're on like $2 an hour or something like this. They are the only jobs that are often left when people say there's no jobs out there around here. There's no $10 an hour, $7 an hour jobs, because the minimum wage laws don't allow it. And even so, there's no real jobs that aren't commission sales or something really ridiculously rigged to basically make you work below minimum wage, $2 an hour, or some stupid thing where basically you've got to be a salesperson, and if you don't move a certain amount of product, you're not even affording to drive to work. You just can't even afford the fuel. Basically things are dying and dying fast around here, and they won't. They're sort of already dying now. There is very little work out there, and there's far too many people who are out of work. There'll be 800 people out of work in March when an aircraft maintenance joint shuts down, and the market is flooded with people looking for work, and any work that is there, whether it only be for a few weeks, bang, it gets snapped up. I feel that this, although I'm pushing myself, I can't afford to do all this training and that, but my gosh, I'll be pushing myself to the limit. I'll have nothing to fall back on, and if a welfare payment doesn't come through or whatever, we may be sort of really panicking. Because I'm going to have no savings left. It's simple as that. But I sort of think that now's the time to get into this early and get it sorted. Now, in future, I intend to build portable houses, tiny houses, and sell them. Tiny homes and all that Kirsten Dirksen is into, and all that sort of stuff. That's something that I intend to do in the future. But it's something that you can sort of do in your time off, but you sort of need money to be able to fund the materials and all this sort of stuff. And that's something I'd love to get into full time. If I do it full time or not is a big, question. I may, but, it'll be a while off yet before I get into doing it full time, even if I do. And I sort of feel it'll be something that I do, but I don't do full time. I always have another 3-day-a-week job or something like that, because, it's sort of, yeah, you know, you got to sell these things, and if you can't sell them, you're not going to be really going ahead and doing it full time if the sales for them are rather slow. There are another couple of other options I have, one of which at the moment I am seriously interested in taking on, and that will be something that I can do. I'm not going to go into that, but there's also a second option that I could have done a few years back, but it's going to require a few $1,000s capital investment, and then I need to basically make up a bunch of customers. And some of these people, I think I could find them quite easily myself, but some of them are a bit tight with the money, and that's why they'd be my customers. But that's another thing that I'm thinking of getting into. And even the first one that I was saying about, you know, that needs customers, and I will need a few people on the ground, but I think that could spread reasonably fast anyway. But I'm not going to go too much into those two. But they're two other business opportunities, because I'm always thinking about business opportunities. But I think the most realistic one, and like I get books like this one here, Just Trucks and Heavy Equipment. Now, in all that, they often sell portable buildings, and some of them, I look at the price and it's just like, oh, these things are second hand, and they're so expensive compared to what I know I can build them for. I'd be blooming stupid not to. But I'll be going into aged care because that will be something that I can fall back on at all times. That is one of the boom industries. They desperately want males in there, but the whole industry is dominated by females. And I don't really feel like fighting another 800 people who have come out of a aircraft maintenance alone, and then a couple more thousand out of an auto factory, and then a couple more, you know, thousand out of an oil refinery and an aluminium smelter, you know, and there's going to be no labour and work left anyway. So I'm not going to bother fighting to try and get some when there's an industry that needs people but can't get it. Furthermore, you may notice that I'm sort of starting to sweat a little bit in here, and there's a reason for that. Yeah. It's about 100 degrees in here, and it's probably worse outside. This is a glorious thing. I have worked quite a number of jobs in industry, in labouring, in construction, and you know, you get to work at 6 a.m. and there's ice on the ground, and then a breeze starts up, and you know, if you're lucky there's not ice on the ground during winter, but it may still be, you know, by the time there's a little breeze going, you're looking at 4 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees Celsius, you know, around 40 Fahrenheit down to freezing or below freezing. I sort of don't really feel like having those sort of winter mornings where I'm like that for 2 hours or more every stinking morning, or face times where it's like this, you know, where you're working and you may be outside, you know, and it's 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 45 degrees Celsius, and you're sweating like a pig, and you're out in the sun working. You know, I sort of thought it'd be good to have a desk job because at least you're going to be in air-conditioned comfort during summers and stuff like that. And I didn't sort of like the idea of being stuck in a cubicle, and then I thought, well, there's a lot of other people in administration. And then this came up, and I thought, that's right. Every time I go into this nursing home here to visit my grandparents, it is spot on. Like, it's 75 degrees Fahrenheit, 23 degrees Celsius in the year round. It's flawless. Comfort-wise, it never moves any more than a few degrees Celsius because they've got heating all winter and they've got massive air conditioners all summer, and I've actually seen these air conditioners out the one side of the building, all the, you know, split system units out the. And you know what? I think I would really like to have a job where I've got air conditioning all day and heating all winter. And so that's the thing, you know, that's another aspect of it. Now, I'm going to be pushing myself damn hard. Basically, I'm not going to have any savings left, and I'm going to be living, you know, pretty blooming tight. And I don't like to not have savings left, and, you know, I'm going to be dependent on welfare and still got to, you know, not have much of that left because I've still got to pay a mortgage and whatnot. But, you know, this is the hard crap time that you got to go through to sort of set yourself up, because you can see that in September 2016, all these industries are going to be closed. They're already making people redundant, like me, like these aircraft workers, you know, in March. And it's a dead horse. There's going to be none of those jobs left because there's going to be a flood of people but no work for it. So I'm making the right move now so that in 2016, end of 2016, I'm going to be fine because I'm in an industry that I have had experience in by then, and I'm one of the few males in that industry, and on top of that, get to spend all the day in air-conditioned comfort or lovely heating. That'll make so much of a difference as opposed to working in heat all day to come home to a hot house at night. If I can work in cool surrounds all day, it won't be so bad, to sort of, at least you got plenty of time under air conditioning each day, you know what I'm saying? So makes things a bit better for you.